Okay. Today's subject is in the Bible. There is a story about the Tower of Babel. Tower of Babel, but there is a very high possibility instead of Babel, maybe Babylon. Now, about 36 years ago, I went to church then I don't know about the Bible at all, and I just listened few sermon, and one time I attended some spiritual renewal service, revival thing. In the morning I attended church, and then when a preacher hand over believers in the head, then they cry and with tears and nose running, and so but everybody feel that moved about heart, but however when I look at it, what's going on here? So I asked a preacher, why so many people are moved, but not me? And he just looked at me, because you have not read Bible. Oh, so I started read the Bible, at the time, I think from 1984. And then, sometimes, I read whole Bible from Genesis to Revelation within 1 month. And then altogether I have read, since then, Old Testament 70 times and the New Testament 130 times. Then when I read Bible, when I read a story of Babel, Tower of Babel, then wow, what an amazing story this! There are that's the reason there are so many languages in the world. Then now, however, then I have a little different kind of view now. Now, however, that when I read that, then something came into my mind, and wait a second. When I was when we look at the baby, the first word most kid learn is mommy, mom, mother. That all sounds contain M sound. Now, in Korean, 엄마, 어머니, and had the M sound. So I look around Spanish language, German language, all the language about the mom contain sound of M. So, see, this is absolutely right. But father is a little different than not only just a father like a F. Sometimes daddy, sometimes a papa. So a little different. But as far as mother concerned, we cannot argue about that. Now these days, when I read Bible, that I mentioned already that chapter Genesis chapter 36, 31, there is a king of Israel. So wait a second. King of Israel. King began after Abraham died, and Moses died, and Joshua died, and Judges died, and during the Samuel anointed King Saul at the time. That was the first time. So the Bible must be written after King Samuel. Because we can argue about that, because it's written in the Bible. And some said, maybe that's the Holy Spirit. know, maybe, that's guessing, but, at the time the Genesis is written, it's not from Moses. That is clear. Now, according to Genesis 11, verse 3, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reach to the heaven. Now, reach to the heaven. Now, my question is, at the time, there's a mountain there. They know mountain is so higher than, any kind of a tower, they try to build. And then, according to Bible, after Noah's Ark, the boat, Noah's Ark, is hanging on the top of Mountain Ararat that located in Turkey. If they build, highest mountain over there, then it is a lot easier to reach to heaven. Why they in plain land? Then that is one question. Now, when I look at the internet, the mountain Ararat, I think Ararat. This one is 5,000. Where I put? 5,137 meter. And there is another mountain, Tamaben. This is in Iraq. This one is 5,610 meters. So if they build, the tower in over there, then it's makes sense. But why they in a plain, in a land? That is question to me. Now, also in the New Testament, and many times they pray on the top of the mountain. Look at Hosea. Hosea 4:13. Chapter 4, verse 13, it said, they sacrifice on the mountain tops, and burn offering on the hills. So they know at the time also that, in Old Testament, when they go to highest mountain, and the God, the Lord, stay on the heaven. So therefore, maybe, close to or near to heaven, so they go to on the top. Then the people, the builder of Babel Tower, did not know that they should build a tower on the highest place instead of a plain land. So that was question to me. Now, second question to me, even 100 years ago, most of human beings scare heaven, sky. When I was young, during a Korean War, I was born in North Korea and evacuated from north to south. And then my mom, carried me in the bag, and then everybody evacuated there, and there are many empty houses. So she went there, and that place is contaminated for smallpox. So I got smallpox. My younger brother got the smallpox, and my younger brother passed away because of that. So my mom, is getting so nervous and cry out, and she, went to, a little higher, about, let's say, about 2 feet high. They stored some kind of, a pot in there. And I asked my mom, what did you do at the time? And I don't know what to do. So all I have to do is, get the, power and get the, water, and then bow and please, save my son, save my son. And she prayed that way. That's the way we have prayed even just 100 years ago. And 4,000, 5,000 years ago, people can think, I am going to reach to God. I doubt it. Still, sometimes we are fearful about, sky and heaven. And a story like, Tower of Babel, they try to reach to heaven, and then, what do you call that? Reach it to heaven. We may make a name for ourselves against heaven. I think this is something intentional writing to me. At the time, it is impossible to me think of, against heaven. Now, the action like my mom did, it happened everywhere. I don't think there is an exception. This is common, we believe so far. Now, another question now. They said, otherwise we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth. This one makes sense. After Noah's flood, great flood, then they know how fearful flood is. So if they, build up, a high tower, then when there is a flood, they have a place to escape. This one makes a lot of sense. Now, in Shinar, according to Bible, they found a plain on Shinar and settled there. Now, this Shinar is baby actual place. Everybody interpret this way. Maybe this one is Shinar. Maybe Shinar is dialogue or sumo. If this in our interpretation is right, then we can explain lots of things. You know, in John's Revelation, there is a Babylon, there is a dragon, there is Satan there. All this one can be explained. Tower of Babel could be Tower of Babylon. This O and skip. That's my opinion. Now, in Tower of Babel, God scattered all people with all kinds of different language. Now, we learn so many languages now in New York City now, and 60% of population may be able to understand Spanish. Not only English, they understand Spanish. But some of them, understand German, French, and like in Asian, we understand, Korean and English, and some of them Japanese, some of them Chinese. Now, when you learn many foreign language, maybe against God's will. God scattered not to understand each other. When we learn all language, then we understand everything now. Now, at the time is cannot understand each other is truth. Then the truth must be same now. But we try to learn many language. Try as a Christian in order to deep meaning of the old word. Many people try to learn Greek, Hebrew, sometimes Latin. We learned many languages. This learning many language may be against God's will. If this is the truth, truth must be same from eternal to eternal. This time is okay and this time is not okay, then it's not the truth. Maybe it is something, what are you talking about? But think about it a little bit. Now, originally, if Tower of Babylon is right, the people who built that Babylon Tower, they didn't say Babylon Tower. They called a Ziggurat. Try to look at this Ziggurat in the internet. Huge tower, so many of them there. And this one is not only just one. And many historical sites about this one. What that means is, at the time, town or city at the time, they have their own God. I have A God, this guy BL, this guy C God. There are so many different kind of things because, hey, we have my own God. You know, that's the pride at the time. So there are many of them. And then what they believe is Ziggurat is connecting heaven and earth. Obviously, you know, on the top, on the, you know, on the plain land. So, you know, when they build, you know, high one, then try to connect heaven and earth. This one is a little different, different than the Bible said, reach to heaven. I believe this is the writer of Genesis, you know, intentionally change Babel, Babylon into Babel, and connecting the, you know, heaven and earth, try to reach to heaven. I think that's the intentional reason, you know, change that. I am going to, you know, talk about this one on next video. Thank you so much for watching.